Hello, everybody. I'm Roadblock, and we are on the free-to-play account. It has been a very, very crazy last 24 hours. Um, I mean, I'm I'm not complaining. I'm just filling you guys in. I'm just letting you guys know kind of what's been going on because I don't really have another series to talk about that kind of stuff. Um, last night I was supposed to play this game for just a couple hours and then go to bed early and then wake up and do a collab, right? So I get on and I'm like, oh, we have the times two. I go pull shards on the main account and I have the best shard pull I will ever have for the rest of my raid career. There is not any possible combination of two legendaries that I can pull back to back that will be better than what I pulled. A lot of you saw, because it's on my free to play, a lot of you saw my free to play pull where I had good epic, good legendary, right? And I was like, this is the great, but what I pulled, and please I'm asking you guys to go watch that. Um if you haven't already, of course. What I pulled on that on my main account as my double legendary was insane. Um and in that moment I knew like I had to go promote this thing, right? So I went around, I shared it on X, I shared it on my personal Facebook page. I promoted it in several different Discords that I'm a member in. I did everything I could to kind of get as many eyeballs on it because it was just so epic, so legendary, like such a crazy moment. And so and that of course caused me to go to bed way later than I was supposed to. And then for those of you that are in the United States, we just had daylight savings time, so I lost an hour. It was a nightmare. So then I've been working all day. So I got home and I just 5 minutes ago finished the champion training event for uh for the free to play account. So right now, I still have a little bit more to do in the ice golem, and I have plenty of time to do that. I just got to make sure not to forget, right? That's the important part. Classic arena. I will get that. That's pretty easy to get. I'll knock out a bunch of arena battles tonight and then do more tomorrow. That should be more than enough to get it done. When we go to the events, we've got the dungeon divers. I completed that. I've even finished Ice Golem and I completed it. So Dungeon Divers isn't as hard as it has been in the past, I would say. I mean, that was pretty easy. I didn't have to do any extra runs in either area. Now, those may be harder later on when I don't have the champion training event to help gain points, but we'll talk about that when we cross that bridge, right? Artifact enhancement, did that. Still have enough silver that I feel comfortable going into the next one. And then the last one is the summon rush. Now you can see where I'm at. I'm currently at 2230. I need 3150, so I still have a ways to go. But we do have some shards to pull. So we're going to pull those. We're going to start here with the Sacred Shard. Now this is the Sacred Shard that I talked to you guys about multiple times, where the monthly reset occurred. So I was able to get the Sacred from that, doing my quests today, and now I can pull this Sacred and see what kind of points that we get. Yeah, I mentioned, now I remember why I had Elva there. I'll take Rector Drath out, and I actually go with the second Ugo. I only really want one copy of Rector Draft, but 2 copies of Ugo could really help me in the future going into Hydra. So even though we have Ugo on the account, I would prefer a second copy of Ugo. Perhaps Gorgrab could be pulled as a faction wars option, actually. So let's do that. Let's do that just to be two Ugos is great. That's what I was going for on my main. What's really funny is when I procced my double legendary, I was complaining that I hadn't pulled any Ugos. and then what I got. It was awesome. So We're going to go ahead and pull here. We're going to pull this. Well, yeah, we'll pull the Sacred first, and then we'll pull the Ancients. Old Gruckus, right? Yeah. Not, I don't think that's anything that's really going to change the game for me there. We'll change the Pythion to Elva here. I'm not expecting to get a legendary at all, but we'll pull these 5 shards. Oh, I should have took Rector Drath out. I can fix that. I hope I have room. I should have room. Oh, yeah, okay. I do have plenty of room. There we go. Interesting. The times 25 chant stays even though I switched the epic. That's a bug, right? That can't actually be the case, right? I feel like Theurgist is a fusion, maybe. Part of a fusion. I could be wrong about that. It's just the name sounded familiar. Alright. I'm going to do a quick... Well, let's look first at... So I got at least something in the Summon Rush. I don't think I got all the way to the end. Yeah. Okay. We're going to come in here and crunch some numbers in just a second. But it looks like probably 1 or maybe 3 voids will do it. I might do that instead of pulling a whole bunch of mystery shards. I hate to say it. Just because I'm kind of lazy. I do want to check my status on some of these fusions, because I do get distracted pretty easily. No. I was right about Theurgist, but I made a big mistake. She's gonna be a barbarian, right? Alright, so she's not a barbarian. What is she then? I guess I could just click on her. Oh, that hurts. Orcs. Okay. I'm about to find out if I'm right or wrong here. Yep. I pulled her. I fed her in my champion training. So, oops. So I had enough for the Razin fusion. Now I want to be clear about one thing about the Razin fusion. I don't want Razin. Which sounds crazy, right? But he is worth a lot of points for a future champion training event. Or not, sorry, champion chase. Champion chase is what I meant to say. So that's why I was so disappointed, because I realized, like, oh, because you could fuse each one of these epics is champion chase points. And then, of course, the points to fuse Razin himself. And it's not that Razin's bad. In fact, considering that it's a free-to-play account, he'll be very, very good for Faction Wars. He is a little weak, though. So, right out the gate, we have a 6-turn cooldown. I can't think of anybody, when booked, that has a 6-turn cooldown. Yes, it decreases the turn meter by 100%, but so does a rare in Coldheart, who does it on a 4-turn cooldown and decreases target turn meter by 100%. Oh, while also doing enemy max HP damage. If there's ever a situation where you're going to use a Razin for the turn meter reduction, you're better off using Cold Heart, who is a rare. And that's just one of those things to keep in mind, right? And then while he does bring both decreased defense and weaken on his A2 on a 3-turn cooldown, that's much better. That is a big deal. I don't want to understate that there aren't that many champions that bring decreased defense and weaken in the same ability. So I like him for that. And then he does bring a multi-hitter with a random buff removal. Okay. But yes, these cooldowns and the damage, and I think even his speed, I'm looking at him at level 1. If we look at him at level 60, yeah, he's got 91 speed. That is incredibly slow. And because a lot of the speed, the real way to ramp up speed, yes, you're getting flat stat speeds, but then you're getting percentages from the gear, like speed set, perception set, etc. That it scales worse when you have a champion that has such low starter HP. So, that's kind of why I'm not really big on Razin. I do think that he needs a buff. I know other people who are really high on Razin. Some previous clan members of mine swore by him, were constantly saying, go get Razin, go get Razin, go get Razin. It's not... I personally am not in that same camp. I don't think he's anything special. However, he can get you points in a champion chase, and he can get you points, and he can help you in some areas of the game, like faction wars. I do like that he brings decreased defense and weaken on the same ability. That can be very valuable because there aren't that many champions that bring that both on the same ability, on the same cooldown. So there is value there. I just don't think that he's as high of a value as others, but he can be valuable to gain those points. I've even heard some super efficient free-to-play players who won't fuse him, and they'll just use him and save all of these rares and just use this fusion as a constant way to feed your account with points for champion chases. The only downside, though, is that I think that stops you from... Or no, yeah, it doesn't stop you from anything. You still get Arbiter that way. I guess it stops you from getting... It stops you from getting Ramontu, is who would affect you there. But you probably do Marius now instead, so that's an interesting thought. If you didn't need to fuse Razin as part of the Ramontu. So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of give my 2 cents there about Razin. So let's take a look now. I am still pretty pissed off that I'm not going to be able to get those points from the rare, but sorry, I'm a little distracted here. Summon Rush is the last thing that I have to do before logging off for the night. So, okay. We're gonna set this for sure. I definitely want Godseeker. I already have Ursula. And I'll go Bellatar here. Yeah. Really looking for a Cold Heart here. I am going to pull one at a time and check my points after each one. I don't want to go any more on the Voids. I honestly don't want to pull any Voids at all. But I also don't want to have to do... I'm just being a little bit lazy regarding Mystery Shards. I thought about maybe using some... Let's freaking go! Well, that was awesome. I love Godseeker. Godseeker's amazing. Um, Great revive, decent healing. Um, it is only 15% of their max HP, which I'm not as big of a fan of. But the buff duration on it, as well as the buff decreasing on the enemy, is very valuable. Plus, you can manipulate this revive a lot. This is something that you may not think of if you're newer to the game and haven't seen as much content out there about Godseeker. One thing that's really cool about this revive is that it also resets the cooldown of all of their skills. Now, it's a little counterintuitive because it's like, well, you don't want that person to die. But imagine building somebody that's very powerful for you and keeping them weak enough so that they die and they keep coming back with a really good ability off cooldown. The most common one that comes to mind is Newt. That's my whole strategy for Sand Devil, is a Godseeker and Newt team. But any champion that is like even Cold Heart would work in the sense that you can just keep her hurt. If you were to put Godseeker in to a team with Cold Heart against Spider and just let her be the spider. Like, well, I guess you really can't manipulate her to be the spider tank as easily as other champions. But one of my other strategies, you know what I love, is using Godseeker with Ultimate Death Knight. You build a very tanky, high resist Ultimate Death Knight. You throw him into a fight, and Godseeker just keeps reviving him over and over. And that refreshes his shield. He can keep applying that shield. Likewise, you can use it to keep applying multiple buffs. I mean, and extending those buffs. Godseeker's amazing. I'm super happy to pull a Godseeker. That's really, really good. I haven't really reanalyzed the hierarchy of the champions that I want to level. Godseeker may have jumped over Rector Draft there. I thought the percent chance to pull her was so low that I wasn't really getting excited about it. But really, really lucky there. Really good pull. Let's see where we're at with the event. So for the Summon Rush, we are at 3,070. Yeah, another. Hold up. So 3,070. We need 80 more. I can do that in mystery shards pretty easily. That's 10, 20. Oh, all right. Let me clear those out. Actually, as I think about it, I might not be able to. I'm going to run out of space before I can do it with mystery shards here. Because that was 20, right? Yeah, so I need 60 more. So now 40 more. I don't know that I'm going to have 40 room after I do all this. This is kind of the kicker. Yeah, in fact, I think I only have enough for one pull here. Oh, I don't even. I'm already capped, and I don't think I have anything really ready to rank up. Do I have enough food for Ugo? No. What about Lady Annabelle? Do I? No, I've got... Yeah. So, I really don't want to do any more champion training. I don't want to spend any energy, but I don't have to, because I do need to finish off Ice Golem. Huh. I'm alright doing this. Oops. Didn't really mean to click that. Alright, so that made a good bit of room. So this will be 30. I'll trade all those in, and then I'll pull one more stack of 10. Oh, 190. Yeah, my math was off there. So I need 2 more stacks of 10s. We'll go through this again. I suppose if this is how I'm getting rid of them, this is kind of a poor use of resources, but what I mean to say is that I could just feed them directly instead of wasting the brews. I'm getting some points for the tournament, but I also don't think I'm going to be able to get enough. So that would be 188. As long as I can sell... Oh, that's actually really good to get all 1-stars there. Because that allows me to probably make room for 8 here. So... Yep. Perfect. That's going to get rid of 10 total. And I'll be able to pull right up to the 190 limit. And I will do this one last time just to clear out the room so that I think I already have one champion that's in my chest. Oh no, it's gear. As you can see, I need to do some gear cleansing as well to get caught up on all the gear that I pulled, but we are done the summon rush, and we used minimal voids. Now, a reminder as to why I used so few voids, and so right now I'm at 125. And we're gonna go over the calendar here just to double check that we've gotten everything. Make sure I haven't missed anything. But the reason I'm being minimum on voids is I do believe the next champion chase will be for voids. So I kind of want to save those voids if I can and pull them during the 2x chance, which is usually coincides with a champion chase. That'll give me a better chance of pulling a void legendary, of course, or even more void epics than what we already pulled. But we already pulled one of the better void epics. Like, I'm really happy with that pull, and honestly, the only other thing I would kind of want at this point would be a Cold Heart. But yet again, we have a crazy pull on this account and are so stacked. This account, I almost feel bad. I almost feel like this is a misrepresentation of what it means to be free to play, because the quality of champions that we have pulled, top tier void epic, top tier void epic, top tier epic, top tier epic we got for free because we started, top tier epic, top tier epic, top tier epic. I didn't realize I haven't put the masteries on him yet. And then even the legendaries, you know, obviously we have the 2 free ones. What's interesting is really the only legendary that I've pulled is Ultimate Death Knight. I haven't leveled any other ones, but these are all decent. Like, all of them. They all have their own individual value in the game. And even Kreela, right? I just didn't see her. I wasn't trying to ignore her on purpose. Again, we have a top tier epic in Ugo. Even Morag is a pretty high up there epic. Tayrell as well. If I didn't have Deacon, Tayrell would be a big part of my comp, and could arguably be better uh, against Fire Knight in some respects. So, hell, even Miscreated and Melga. I mean, and then not to mention the combination that we have here of Neldor, who I think is level 40 on this account. I could have swore I had a Neldor on this account. I could be wrong. Am I crazy? No, he's high elf. Oh, he's right there. Okay. Whew. That was very scary for a minute. That I already made the mistake once today. I would hate to make the mistake again. So, of feeding somebody that I wanted to keep. So, yeah, I can't complain. I am very happy with that pull. Very happy with the way the account's going. And we're about to get a really strong, as long as we keep up the pace, we're going to get a very strong legendary here in Armand's. So now, let's review the calendars. I'm going to bring the calendar over here. So we did get the 25 for Dragon. We got the 25 for the Champion Training. We have the 25 for the Summon Rush, and the 25 for the Artifact Enhancement, and the 25 for Dungeon Divers. That brings us to 125. What do we have left? We have Classic Arena and finishing the Ice Golem, which I will finish tonight. So that would leave us at 175 going into Tuesday, when the next Artifact Enhancement event will begin, and then kind of a break until the weekend again. Obviously this Dungeon Divers is probably the most important one to pay attention to, because there's no overlap. We only have the Fire Knight and the Champion Training event to generate points for this. This one kind of has the same problem. And in fact, this one's probably going to be actually worse. I said this one would be, but now that I look at the map, this one's harder, because with the Spider Tournament overlapping here, and the Champion Training Tournament only barely overlaps with it, or Champion Training Event, I'm sorry. And one thing about the Champion Training Event that's really important to consider is that you're probably already done by the time that you get to this Dungeon Divers event. So you're probably just going to do a whole lot of Spider. What I do love is that the Spider Tournament is during Tuesday in March, as well as the Dungeon Divers 3. So this Tuesday, during Clan v Clan, run a lot of Spider. I recommend you wait. Is Clan v Clan this coming Tuesday? No, it's not. There's a way to check. Hold on. I know it's not a personal rewards. I think Clan v Clan would be. Yeah, because it's not this. Is it this week? And then it wouldn't be. It doesn't matter. Whether I'm right or wrong, it doesn't matter. You're going to want to run a lot of Spider for this Dungeon Divers 3. But that's really good for any account, because Spider is a dungeon that you need to probably farm the most. Not only for good silver, but also for really good resources. So that's likely where you're going to get almost all of these Dungeon Diver points. So maybe if you're smart with if you're able to finish this and still have something left in the Champion Training event, you can finish it during this Dungeon Divers. Just be careful because there's not a lot of overlap there, and you could definitely miss a day and put yourself in some real trouble going into that hero's path, right? As the only other option. Um, so for the champion chase tournament, and again, this looks like they'll overlap. This is not an overlap. So the champion chase will likely end before the hero's path. Sometimes this is because of the way they design these are so misleading. So sometimes this could end up being an overlap, but given that you're summoning shards, I don't think they want these to overlap because you could just double dip and kind of negate a lot of it. Um, so for the champion chase tournament, I want to point out a lot of things that people will forget, and you need to remember now. Please notice, I have not fused any of my Kafrus. Those are points for champion chase. So even though I have enough fragments to summon a Kafru, I'm not going to until the champion chase event comes up, because those are extra points towards the champion chase tournament. Sorry. And you don't want to give up those points because that's fewer shards that you need to pull potentially. Maybe you even are able to save some of your big points, right? So ideally you summon those guys first, get the points for the champion chase tournament, and then maybe pull your shards next, and then finish off with the big points from your fragment summons here with, if you have any legendaries like I do. The reason I say that is because you may get lucky this time go around with your shard pulls, and you can save those ones for a rainy day. So let's say I go for the fusion after this. And by the way, this is just me talking. I've never seen a video on this. I've never even thought of it until just right now, and I'm just theorizing. I'm just strategizing. If you have champions in your fragment summons that maybe you really aren't chomping at the bit for, you're not super excited to pull them right away, you're okay waiting, you're okay saying, oh, I'll get them later, which is my case for these two, then I would save them for a day when it's a sacred shard champion chase, and I only have 2 sacreds to pull for whatever reason, right? There's many reasons why that could happen, and for whatever that reason it is, I do that pull, and I only get 2 epics, and then I don't have enough points to get more, because I probably had to go for a summon rush earlier in the event. So, keeping all that in mind, sometimes it's better to save those big points. So if you can summon a bunch of epics because of this fusion, and then of course pulling your shards during a 2x, which is when you want to pull them anyways, you could save those big points for a rainy day. But that's just me spitballing random ideas at the moment. So, okay. I am going to call it there, I think. I knew there was one big thing I wanted to talk about going into this, and that was do not summon these guys until the champion chase. You're going to miss out on some points, and that could really hurt you in the champion chase event. So, that's everything. I can't begin to put into words how much fun I've had in the last 24 hours. I mean, my coworkers at work, I wouldn't shut up about it. I was showing everybody the thumbnail I made. I was talking about how many views the shard pull video was generating. I'm so lucky, truly lucky to have the community that I have, to have the support that I have, the comments that you guys have left, even on videos that weren't this one. I swear to you, I was talking to a friend of mine today at work, and I was talking about streaming in general, and I was talking about how, You know, sometimes you get nervous, you think, oh, my viewership's going down, I'm not getting as many subscribers or whatever the case may be. And then a comment comes along, and I mean, I'll, I don't remember the exact wording that they had, but it was something along the lines of like, it was very simple. It was just like, nice video, love the content, something like that. And I was just like, it was exactly what I needed. It was just like, you know what? Maybe this isn't going to be a thing, but I'm at least making something for somebody. And that is enough. That is all I need, at least at this stage, in my plans for the channel. So um I can't understate how much I absolutely love um all of the support and the subscribers, the comment leavers, all of it. It I'm just so lucky to be able to have the kind of following I have in such a short period of time. And I didn't even realize how short of a period of time it actually has been. So um I had to get that out because I'm sure a lot of people will probably see this right now because my channel has got a lot more eyeballs on it. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next video.